books as well. Prior to that, what I have to share with you is very, very important to your business, because I've been traveling across North America literally for almost 2 decades. Obviously, with COVID, I haven't been doing that in the last year and a half almost. But I got to tell you, wherever I go, the topic of lead generation comes up over and over again. Everywhere I go, almost everyone I speak to daily, it's all about creating leads. And how do you do that on a consistent basis? And I will tell you, what's more important than creating leads is converting them, because it doesn't matter how many leads you have. If you're not converting them, you're not making money. You don't have a viable or sustainable business. So what was interesting is Morris Marketing has been in business for literally 92 years, working with agents for 30 years. And we work with a company called T360. They're an international renowned real estate marketing and consulting company. And we commissioned a study on real estate leads. Where do the best leads come from? Not only in Canada, but literally in North America wide, and who is converting them? And what is the strategy of the agents that are converting them? And I'm going to share with you that exactly today in today's webinar. This is really interesting stuff. This is based on solid research that was conducted. And so by the end of this, so my agenda for today is I want to share with you some of the latest facts based on research on lead generation and conversion. And it turns out, in conducting the study, there are different approaches realtors take when it comes to generating leads, when it comes to converting leads. And whether you're aware of it or not, some of you may be aware, some of you are not, you have what is called a lead generation and conversion personality type. There's a way you like to do business and generate leads and convert them. And there are actually 4 agent personality types when it comes to lead generation. I'm going to share with you exactly what they are. And based on that, you'll be able to decide what type of business you want to create for yourself moving forward based on your actual personality type. As I go through them, you'll see where you fit into the equation. And Morris Marketing has been working with agents now for, as I mentioned, 3 decades. And there's a structure to success. There's a science to success. If you look at the agents that do consistently well, and not only generating but converting leads, they're doing specific things over and over again. There's I would describe it as a success formula for the agents that are doing well. And this goes to any market, whether the market's like it is today, where everyone wants the listings, and I'll share with you the strategy of getting more listings, or it's a slow market. The agents that do consistently well are doing certain things very specifically in a formulistic sort of way. And I'm going to share with you what that success formula is, and then we'll follow that with a Q&A. So launching right in, I want to begin today's webinar with an interesting question, a simple question, but I believe a powerful question. And that's, what type of real estate agent do you want to be? You see, here's the thing. I have not met the realtor who was 5, when they were 5, decided to go into real estate. People usually come to real estate from every conceivable background. I have people that come that are former teachers, and from the corporate world, and from construction, and are former Toronto Maple Leaf hockey players and football players, and Olympic athletes and mayors of cities. People come to real estate from every background. But before you decided to become a realtor, you had a vision for what your business would look like, sound like, feel like. And I got to tell you, you do this whether you're conscious of it or not every single year. What do you want your business to be like? And in that vision, you have a vision, whether we're aware of it or not, what type of clients you want to work with on a regular basis, how you want to spend your day. Many of us left the corporate world, and I got to tell you, we didn't want to work 9 to 5. We wanted to be our own boss, our own entrepreneur in real estate. There's one of the few professions, as you know, you can make more money than a doctor. I have clients that make $500,000 in income or more a year consistently. Real estate's one of the few professions where you can do that. All of this relates to your vision, what type of lifestyle you want, and also directly impacts the degree of confidence you have in the future. But, and not every realtor that I meet, and I speak to thousands of realtors and probably spoke to over 250,000 realtors in my career across North America. And I got to tell you, not everyone wants to be the biggest realtor in the universe. Some people want to make a really, really good living, and some people want to form big teams and really want to be the #1 realtor in their particular area or their particular marketplace. But whatever your vision is, one thing is absolutely certain. 110% it's certain, and that in order to create or manifest your vision, you need to generate a steady flow of leads. Leads are the economic fuel that will allow you to create whatever vision you want to create for yourself. That is 110% certainty. But you know, when it comes to leads, and I know you may be familiar with this, but it's nice to see this visually portrayed. There is what is called the lead spectrum. And what's interesting about the lead spectrum is there are generally two ends of the spectrum. There's the cold selling leads, and to the left-hand side of your screen, and then to the right, there's the warm selling leads. We're all familiar with, and people try and sell you all these type of leads. There's Facebook advertising leads, there's Google pay-per-click you're familiar with, and with changes in technology recently. Matter of fact, this has been a huge phenomenon the last several years with algorithms, and there's these companies that now have sprung up almost everywhere, and they provide you websites, and there's subscription services where if you subscribe on a regular basis, they promise you a certain amount of leads so long as you pay the subscription fee. It sounds great. There are some big issues which I'll share with you in a moment with respect to that, but there's been more and more of expensive agent websites, lead generating websites, and this is due in large part to technology. But by and large, Facebook ads, Google pay-per-click, expensive websites, and the like, and similar type of leads are generally regarded as cold selling leads. On the other end of the continuum or spectrum, if you will, the right-hand side, we're all familiar with leads that come from client referrals and repeat business. What's interesting, and what a lot of people may not be aware of, is that everybody you know, whether it's your sphere of influence, whether it's your past clients, knows 3 to 5 people buying and selling each and every year. And so every year you should be getting from your network of contacts, be it your sphere of influence of them work with you or your clients, referrals every year. Not every agent taps into that. I'm going to share with you how to do that in just a second. That's our specialty. And then in the GTA and Canada-wide, everyone buys and sells about every 3.8, say call it 4 years to every 7 years. Some people never move. Some people get divorced 3 times and move every other year. We know people in both categories, but the national average in Canada is about every 4 to 7 years. So you're getting leads, or you should be getting leads that convert into clients from your repeat business as well. And those are great leads. Those are referrals, and repeat business are warm selling leads. And then there are leads that come to you from people that you're in complementary business with, anyone from the trades, from people in mortgage brokers, lawyers, anyone in complementary business where you refer them business and they refer you business. And then, of course, we're all members of networking groups, religious groups, otherwise groups, or community organizations, any organization where there could be a chamber of commerce, anybody where you're interfacing with, and they're referring you business and you're referring them business, that's a good source of warm selling leads. So, you know, people say all the time, well, you've got a lead spectrum, but what difference does that make? It makes a huge difference in your strategy, and I'll explain. Not all leads are the same. And you know this intuitively, you know this from your day-to-day reality. Some leads are much better than others. And let's examine that for a moment. There is actually 2 ways to look at a lead. One has to do with the quality of the lead. I know this sounds very simple, but this is very important. Lead quality very simply means what is the probability that a lead you generate from whatever source, you're going to be able to convert that lead into an actual client. How probable is that? How quality? Obviously, you want leads that are of a higher quality than a lower quality. That just makes sense, that have higher probability of conversion. And then the other criteria for looking at a lead is lead competition. So how many other agents are vying for the same business? Now, in the GTA where we are, There are 54,000 plus every year. More and more people get their real estate license. It's a highly competitive real estate market. I tell this to other people throughout Canada, and they're amazed by the fact the number of realtors in the GTA. When I started in this business, there was less than 100,000 in all of Canada. Now there's more, more than half of that just in the Greater Toronto area. Obviously, when you generate leads by virtue of strategy, you want leads that are people that are only talking to you, or at least that there's not a lot of other agents that they're talking to. So here's the ideal situation. I think everyone on the webinar will agree. Your strategy, whatever that strategy is, and I'm going to share with you some great strategy of consistent generating leads in just a moment. But your strategy, if it's a good strategy, if it's a great strategy, should consistently, underline the word consistently, generate what are called high quality, low competition leads. What does this mean on a practical level? It means less time for you chasing dead-end leads and more time doing the type of work that you envisioned when you got your license or as you move forward in your business, how you spend your time, your day, type of clients, all those things. And of course, the more you're generating high quality, low competition leads, the more money you're making, the more successful and prosperous you will be. There's no two ways about it. Now, if you're wondering at this point, how do I create consistently, can underline the word consistently, high quality, low competition leads, how to make this happen, I'm going to share with you exactly how to do that in a moment. Let's look at some of the research to lay the foundation for that. Let's look at some of the research conducted by T360, the company that Morris worked with on our studies of lead generation and conversion. It turns out that there are 4 different personality types that realtors have when it comes to lead generation and conversion. To the left-hand side of your screen, there are realtors that thrive and actually enjoy working with cold leads. They're what are called the prospectors and converters. And to the right-hand side of your screen, you have realtors that are interested or really do well, or based on who they are as a person, working with warm leads, or that's their preference. And they're the networkers and marketers. Let's look at the difference. Well, based on the research, and I think this is absolutely fascinating, based on the research, the vast majority of agents, not only Canada, but North America, are actually fall within the networker marketers, or they prefer, based on who they are as a person, their personality type, to work with warm selling leads. That's more than 8 out of 10, 86% of agents fall into that category. I'm going to go over the difference in a minute. And far fewer are the true cold selling agents, the ones that agents that prefer to only or exclusively deal in cold selling leads, only about 14%. Let's look at the difference. Let's look at the cold selling agents that rather, given the choice, deal with leads that are completely based on commodity-based strategies. The prospector converter. Well, there's less prospectors today than there was many years ago because of technology. Let me explain. In the old days, I guess I'm old enough to talk about the older days, but technology changes so fast, you don't have to be that old to talk about it. The prospector would literally get a directory. Like in the old days, really old days, would be a phone book or some sort of directory, and make call after call after call after call to complete strangers looking for the proverbial needle in the haystack. What are they looking for? Someone that would agree to meet with them. They could list their property or was interested in selling their home, or they could sell them property or look to purchase a property on their behalf. Now, if you look at the personality trait of the prospector, they're very tenacious. They have to handle rejection really well. They have great prospecting habits, because in order for them to get a win, they have to make sometimes hundreds of calls. They have great phone skills, appointment setting skills, or obviously being very organized in terms of their follow-up. Now, because of technology, and again, I mentioned this earlier, algorithms where people now can buy leads that are pre-filtered for them. You pay a certain amount of money to a website, they'll sell you a lead. Now there's more and more what are called converters. These are people that are fed their leads. Sounds great. Again, there's issues with that. I'll get to that in a moment. In terms of the converters, how the converters work is they have to have, in terms of their personality, they have great just like the prospectors, great follow-up and responsive skills, great phone skills, and of course, appointment setting. They have to be really, really organized. They also have to be tenacious. And because they're paying for their leads, every lead that they pay for has a cost associated, so that if they don't convert, that money is gone forever. So they're acutely aware of their cost per lead acquisition. Now, really authentically and true prospect and converters, there's very few of them out there. I do meet them from time to time, but the vast majority of agents, if you really look at who they are as people, they're mostly the networkers and marketers. They fall on the other side of the personality equation. And there's a reason for that. If you look at realtors, the real estate itself, it's a highly relational business. I mean, if you look at some of the great realtors I know, they have great people skills, communication skills. They have negotiation skills, relationship skills. Why? Well, you're dealing with people when you're dealing with legal issues, financial issues, you're dealing with change, family issues, and you're the facilitator of the process. So in order to do that well, you need some really great, well-developed skills like I've just described. And networkers, if they're the majority of the warm selling agents. They have great networking skills. They're good at networking not only within their sphere of influence, their friends, but also within community organizations or other organizations that they are involved with. They're great at relationship building. They're really, really good at staying in touch with not only their past clients, but also their generalized sphere of influence. They're just naturally good at those skill sets, networkers. Now, there's more networkers than there are marketers. The difference between a networker and a marketer has all the skills of a networker. They're also a warm selling agent, but they've developed a brand identity. So a marketer might be, for example, I see these guys all the time, like a condo king, and they have marketing campaigns, and that's their identity, and they reinforce that. They're known as a certain type of agent, and their messaging and marketing reflect that. But in both the network and marketer, which represent the vast majority of agents in Canada and the United States, they're given the preference, they'd rather work in the warm selling lead generation world. Now, let's look at these two personality types, or the four different personality types with two realtors. There's Carl, the prospector and converter. Now, Carl, if he's looking tired, if he's looking exasperated, if he's looking exhausted, there's a reason. Carl's a great agent, but the challenge with Carl is he's more of a converter than a really true prospector, because in Carl's world, what he does is he actually buys his leads from one of these websites that sell him leads every month. Sounds good. Every month he spends a certain amount of money, gets a certain amount of leads back. Sounds like a great winning formula. But here's this challenge. The leads that Carl gets are generally low quality, high competition leads. What do I mean by that? Well, what the website providers don't tell you, and I'm a marketing guy, I'm going to tell you, is when you're buying leads from these sources, oftentimes they're reselling those leads to sometimes anywhere up to 8 to 12 other agents. And you see a lot of these leads are generated from people who say they want to find the value of their house. So they go to one of these websites and leave their contact information. Doesn't mean that they're selling. And it doesn't mean that they want to be contacted by an agent. So these companies glean these leads, prospective leads, so-called leads, then subsequently sell them to an agent like Carl. So Carl gets a lead. Here's in his world. He gets a lead. He's paying for this lead. No matter what he's doing, he has to drop whatever he's doing. We could be spending time with his family. It could be on weekends, nights, whatever. He has to respond immediately for that lead if he even stands a chance, because there's so low quality, high competition. Because otherwise, if he doesn't respond, that lead is gone. Another agent will get the lead if it's a viable one. And so the leads, in addition, don't carry over from 1 month to not a month, but his subscription fees do. So if he doesn't convert in 1 month, it's not like the leads accumulate and he has like 20 leads for 1 month and then 40 leads in the second month. It doesn't work that way. The statute of limitations on the leads is very low. So he literally has to respond. He's on what I call a lead chasing treadmill. He does convert some every once in a while, but it's very expensive for Carl. And I've met agents that love the adrenaline rush of that. But I got to tell you, if you're only in the prospecting and converting world, especially in a city like Toronto, where there's thousands and thousands of other agents also doing the same strategy, you can burn yourself out. You can make a living, but you can burn yourself out doing that if that's all you're doing. And I call Carl the commodity-based agent. He's like a transactional agent. Nothing wrong with that, but there's got to be a better way. And I got to tell you, here's the statistic that explains Carl's world. And you might want to take a screenshot of this because this is absolutely amazing statistic. Based on the research that was conducted, again, with T360, over 200 million online leads are generated each and every year from Facebook, pay-per-click, lead generating websites, and all these other sources online. But think about this. Of all the online leads, only less than 1% are actually being converted by agents and the clients. That's a staggering statistic. That means, to put that in perspective, of every 100 leads that are generated from online sources, less than 1 out of 100, 99 go nowhere, and less than 1 are being converted by an agent. And who is doing the converting? Just to drill that down a little further, of the 1% of leads, it sounds like a lot out of 200 million, it's generally these big real estate teams that have dedicated resources that can respond quickly in just the right way in order to stand a chance of getting the lead. And so the individual agent that subscribes to these services doesn't really stand much of a chance. And I'm telling you that because it's really important. I see agents spend far too much money on lead generation with very little result. There's got to be a better way. And Carl, is really what I call is commodity-based agent, a transactional agent. He's on this treadmill every month, pays a certain amount of money, gets a certain amount of leads. It's rinse and repeat, does it over and over again. There's got to be a better way, and there is. And if you look at the opposite approach, rather than like Carl dealing with low quality, high competition leads, Rosa represents the vast majority of agents in terms of her personality type. She's the networker and marketer. Now, in Rosa's world, when she envisioned becoming a realtor, she wanted to work with people, helping them navigate the biggest financial transaction in their life. She loves working with families and dealing with their family issues, legal issues, financial, and really be the facilitator of that process. And she's really does an exquisite job of keeping in touch with her clients and also her generalized sphere of influence in a meaningful way that creates value for them. And in her world, and I'll share with you exactly the strategy she employs, because I work with these agents every single day, literally for decades. And in Rosa's world, she's not creating a transactional business. She's creating what's called an annuity-based business. What I mean by that is every year in Rosa's world, another percentage of her clients, her database or sphere of influence, will buy and sell again, because people buy and sell every 4 to 7 years. So she gets more business every year from repeat business. In addition to which, everybody she knows 3 to 5 people buying and selling every year. So imagine in Rosa's world, she has a database of 100 people. If she knows 100 people in her database that she's in connection with, literally in flow with, what I call being in flow with, literally that's everywhere from 3 to 5, that's 300 to 500 potential referrals from her database. And if she even gets 20% of them, that's, in financial terms, that's huge. And I'll share with you the strategy she's employing. So Rosa, unlike Carl, who's on this treadmill, has freed herself up from the commodity-based marketplace. She's creating a business that gets better and better every year. And let's look at the research. I share with you a moment that of the 200 million leads that were generated, less than 1% were converted, the low quality, high competition leads. Well, let's look at the other side of the equation, warm selling leads. If you look at the research, approximately 60% of the good leads, the high quality, low competition leads, the leads that you want to generate, come from referral and repeat. And that makes sense because in real estate, and I think you all know this, people work with who they know, like, and trust. That because you're dealing with, again, family issues, legal issues, financial issues, and change. But it's not just about knowing, like, people may know you, they like you and trust you, but there's 2 reasons why people choose one realtor over another. And this is really, really important. If you analyze this a little bit, people work with who they know, like, and trust based on their knowledge and expertise. What do I really want for you as a client, as someone who's referred to you? I want to know that you're going to sell my house for the best price. You're going to also negotiate the deal on the house I'm purchasing for the best price. In other words, it's not just the fact that I like you and know you and all those things and trust you, which is really important. It's also your expertise. And that a lot of realtors do a good job on the relational, but there's also the informational, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. But the best leads, the high quality, low competition leads come from referral and repeat. And I think you all know this. And as I mentioned, Rose is building a business that is annuity based, that every year, like an annuity, she gets more business come back to her from referral and repeat. And she's spending less money on marketing every year, whereas Carl keeps spending more and more money converting less and less people. So if you have the choice in terms of who you are as a person, your personality type, which side of what I call the marketing sandbox, if you will, do you want to be based on your personality? And most realtors, given the choice, by virtue of who they are as a person, would rather live in the world of the networker and marketer like Rosa as opposed to like Carl. It just stands to, based on the statistics. And just to reinforce that a little bit further, if people work with whom they know, like, and trust based on your knowledge and expertise. But if I don't know somebody that I know, like, and trust in terms of a realtor, I will go to someone I know, like, and trust and get a referral. And if someone refers me to you, you have the highest probability of converting me because that trust is transferred on to you from the person I trust. But it's not automatic. You have to create it by virtue of your strategy. So let me share with you now the formula of the Roses of the world, the annuity-based relational realtors, the realtors that have freed themselves up from the commodity-based marketplace. This is incredibly simple, and it all has to do with your communication strategy. And this is based on 3 decades of working with some of the top realtors in Canada and United States. I have clients with us for literally 30 years that are just do consistently well. These are the warm selling agents. Morse Marketing, particularly through what's called our client referral system, where our specialty is really creating systems for networkers and marketers. That's the world we live in. That's our expertise garnered from decades. Now, if you look at when you do something for that long, and I've written 3 books on this, I got to tell you, there's a structure to success. There's a science to success. If you look at the realtors that do consistently well, the first thing I want to share with you is they understand the concept of systems. You probably heard this before because all the major trainers, the Buffinis and the Richard Robbins and the Joe Stomps and Tom Ferriss, all of them, they're talking about systems. Why do you need a system? The first thing is because there are regular, in your business as a professional realtor, there's consistent sales, marketing, and admin activities you have to do on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. And without some sort of system, things that you should be doing don't get done. You're literally flying by the seat of your pants. You're doing some things and not others, and it's chaotic. So you need a system. And matter of fact, every business needs a system. Now, when it comes to systems, there are 2 scenarios. Either an agent understands, yes, I need tools and systems for my business if I want to be successful. But what they do is I call them the one-person show. They try and do all their marketing activities themselves, in addition to all the daily real estate activities they got to do. So here's what happens. They try and do direct mail, email, social media, their website, their CRM, and all these other marketing stuff. As well as they try and do, in addition to all their marketing they're doing, they try and do their CMAs, their listing presentations, negotiating deals and showing properties. The bottom line is you cannot be a one-person show and have a systems-based business. It's physically impossible, even if you have an assistant. The more common scenario is I call fractionation, where an agent will go through the training, or they'll understand at least that they need systems, tools, and resources for the business. And I see this every day. What they do is they end up over time buying all their marketing resources a la carte or independent of one another. So here's what happens. They end up with one company for a website, one company for their direct mail, if they're doing direct mail, another company for their email, another company for their social media they use, another company for their email, another company for their CRM, and the list goes on. And what happens to these agents is it ends up costing them a fortune because all the pieces of their marketing strategy don't fit together. In addition to which, it's not your day job to juggle 4 or 5 marketing companies and do CMAs, listing presentations, negotiating deals, and working with clients. So why am I telling you this? If you look at the agents that do consistently well, they have what's called an integrated system that frees them up. What you need is everything you need to professionally manage your business, so you're able to do more CMAs, do more listing presentations, do more showing properties and working with clients, and all those what I call high income producing activities. Systems is important, and you should not use your system should free you up, not take away all your time. And if you look at the agents that do well, not only do they have an integrated system, what brings the system to life is not a CRM, not a database, it's the communication tools within a CRM. So what are they doing? They have monthly direct mail newsletter to their A-list contacts and hot prospects. I was recently a speaker at the Richard Robbins, if you're familiar with, he's a Canadian trainer, if you're familiar, at his event he had. Obviously, it was online in December. Almost every year I speak there. And there's 1,400 agents. They're all talking about direct mail. Why? Direct mail is really important in real estate marketing these days. I'm going to get to that in a moment because of what's happening in the digital world. You want to have not just digital only strategies, you want to also use direct mail and other strategies. So realtors who do well have a direct mail piece, and I'll show what that looks like in a moment, to their A-list clients and hot prospects. They do email. You can't avoid it. Email is also very important, even though the open rates aren't great. You want to send an email newsletter to your B-list contacts, a monthly market update to all your contacts. Realtors do well have a relationship building call with their sphere of influence and past clients about once a quarter, an annual real estate checkup, which I'll share with you what that looks like in a moment. And there's not only the informational, there's also the relational, so birthday and move-in anniversary wishes once a year, and ideally in normal times, a client appreciation event. I realize we're in COVID times, and so things are going to get better, but right now doing a lot of in-person contact is problematic. Let's look at the individual elements really quickly. I mentioned there's a resurgence of direct mail. Why? Let me explain to you why. The reason why direct mail is so important in the context of real estate is because in the real estate marketing world, you and I, in the marketing world generally, you and I are getting emails. I'm not talking about direct mail, emails from people, from products, from services all day long. I get up to 100 emails a day from people that I know and products and services, and I open them up on my smartphone. I have an iPhone plus size screen. The reality is I'm deleting 95% of the emails I get, even if it's great information, even if it's graphically designed. Why? Because I don't have the patience. And in addition to which, the fact is that I just don't have the patience. And matter of fact, if you send out 100 emails, this is fascinating to me. And these are the people you know, and 18 get open, not read, but open. Doesn't mean they read them. That's considered an astronomical open rate. That means that 82% of people don't even open up your email that you send, let alone read it. And I'm not saying don't send out email, but what I am saying is it's a function of our times. Email is not as effective as it once was. People have gone through threshold on email. We have the anti-spam legislation, the list goes on. However, in contrast, you want to have a direct mail strategy. People say direct mail. Why direct mail? This is 2021. Are you kidding me? Well, think about this. People don't get a lot of direct mail now from people they know. I'm talking about in an envelope. It has to be a professional direct mail piece that really reinforces your expertise. Matter of fact, on Morse Marketing, in our client referral system, our clients get over 15 Ns a year from direct mail on a 100-person database. You do not get that from email. And here's why. There's a concept called associative marketing. You want me thinking about you as my realtor, not on my cell phone where I'm likely to delete the email, but rather where I live, my home, my condo. And you want, in other words, that's the place where I'm going to be using your services. So direct mail is really important, but not just any direct mail. So what we do, Morse Marketing does, is we do actually 4 direct mail pieces for you. This is why it works. And they're the relational and the informational. So we're Canadian. So in the article, we have one publication for your clients where we give them, and or sphere of influence, we give them articles on how to increase the value of their home, home safety and security, emerging home technologies. There's a condo version and a residential house version. We also have a and you can customize the front with your branding, your photography. There's one-to-one marketing. I have clients even advertise their clients' businesses or services. We're actually turning the lens of your marketing to create value for the recipient, which is called client-centered marketing, which is very different than ego-based marketing. which people are sick of. And then we also have another publication we send out to your leads, or you can, if you want, whereby the articles on, these are people in buy and sell mode or transaction mode. So the articles are things like ways they can prepare their house for listing. I help my clients get listings. The biggest thing is listings right now. This is what I help you get. And so the articles are things like ways people can prepare their house for listing, buying and selling tips, and you can customize the front completely different. And we mail it out for you. You're worth too much money to be stuffing envelopes. But in contrast to email, direct mail, our clients get over 15 ends a year on a 100-person qualified database. That's amazing. You don't get that with digital forms of marketing. And that's why it works, in particular with what's happening generally in the marketing world. Direct mail works, but it's got to be the right type of direct mail. You do need email as well. Oftentimes for your low quality prospects, you want to have an e-newsletter, and also for your hotter prospects, maybe you don't have the direct mail address. It's not one or the other, it's both. But if you're going to send out email, you don't want to send out cooking recipes, and you don't want to do that. People are spending $1 million with you, plus in the GTA on real estate. They're doing it for your expertise. So you want to make sure in both the direct mail and the email, not only do we help you automate it, but we provide what's called a client-centered or recipient-centered marketing that reinforces the why, your expertise. And cooking recipes and things of that nature and are not why people are hiring you. The other thing is we're Canadian. So the information we do is we're all research writers are Canadian. We're not talking about the US elections and all those things. There's all these US companies that come to Canada. You want Canadian content because your clients are Canadian. But also on e-newsletter and direct mail, you want to automate the process, because the other thing I mentioned is it needs to be part of a system, because your high income producing activities are CMAs, listing presentations, working with clients, showing properties, not stuffing envelopes or researching articles for an e-publication. You want to automate it. Same is true with the market update. People are very curious about what's happening in the market. It's very fast moving, as you know, you're there every day, but people are looking to you for advisement, for expertise. So having a system where you're able to take the Toronto Real Estate Board statistics and contextualize them for people as part of a system is very, very useful to get that out via email and also direct mail as well. And that's where we help you do that with our systems. But it's got to be automated. You all hear this all the time. You want to move people from the digital to the in-person, and right in between the digital world to the in-person world where you're literally making money doing a CMA listing presentation is direct mail and phone calls, but you got to know who to call and when. A lot of realtors, you can't text your way to success in this business. You got to pick up the phone and call people every once in a while. But I don't know about you, but to remember people's birthdays and moving anniversaries or what to say, we provide you as part of our systems a keep in touch coach. Imagine waking up in the morning and being reminded it's one of your clients' moving anniversaries, or it's your client's birthday, or any of those things. That's huge, because the longer you're in business, you can't remember all those things. I don't care how good your memory is. In addition, doing an annual real estate checkup. You look at the formula. Again, this goes to why people are hiring you. People are work in real estate with whom they know, like, and trust based on their knowledge and expertise. You hear me say that over and over again. That's very important. So one of the ways realtors who do well in the formula to reinforce their expertise and literally protect their business from other realtors taking their past clients is on an annual basis do what's called a proactive CMA, or real estate checkup. I don't go into too much detail. We can speak offline about this if you want, but suffice it to say, people are really curious about the value of their home, especially these days when the market is moving so quickly. So if you were to, people don't want to generalize statistics. What they want to know is what's the impact of the Toronto market, real estate market, on the value of their individual home. And when your clients drive down the street and they see a house for sale, house listed, they're making a conscious comparison with that prop in their own. So what a lot of my clients do, and what I recommend you do, is do what's called an annual real estate checkup. This is like a mini CMA. It literally takes you 2 minutes, and it gives them sort of bellwether statistics. What's the average sale price in their area? How long it has on the market for example. I have clients, and I help you automate this in what we do. because you can't do them all at once. It takes about, a few minutes to prepare one, but you've got to schedule these. And the bottom line is I have clients who pick up listings and referrals just on conducting an annual real estate checkup. And again, I can share with you offline how to do that. But that's part of sharing your expertise with your sphere of influence and clients. And again, there's a relational, not just knowing when someone's birthday and moving anniversaries are, you have to acknowledge them in some way. But you to write your birthday cards all the time is very difficult, and moving anniversary. So again, as part of our systems, we have a keep in touch coach. You not only can know when it is you're reminded, but you also have the ability to send out birthday cards and moving anniversary cards. That's huge. People love that stuff. It's part of the reason why they're hiring in the first place. In normal times, as part of the formula, you want to move people from the digital to the informational, to the digital to the in-person. You're making money when you're in front of people. A lot of great agents have some sort of in-person event. I realize that's problematic now. Things are going to change. They're getting better as we get vaccinated. But the bottom line is a normal year, you would have an event, maybe on an annualized basis, because after you've been in business for a while, it's hard to see all your clients one-on-one. There's just not enough hours in the day to do that. And people bring their friends and family to a client event. I've had people who whatever they do, whatever it costs them to host an event, it doesn't have to be very expensive at all. It pays for itself many, many times over in terms of referral and repeat business. Websites, all the time, realtors said, I need a website. Well, let me share with you something about websites. Was part of what I do and Morse Marketing does is we give you a beautiful website, or we connect your website as part of the client referral system. But the truth is this: I have clients who don't even have a website and make $500,000 a year every year. That's an amazing statement. I'm not saying you don't need a website, but I want to share with you something real quick. If you were to do a survey of all the realtors in Canada and ask them two questions. Number one, do they have a website? I'd venture to guess, I don't know the exact figure, but it's like in the 90th percentile of realtors have a website, either through the real estate board, through their brokerage, or one they purchased on their own. If you were to ask the second question, and that is, of all the realtors in Canada, how much business they get from the website? The answer is less than 4%. Most realtors don't get any business from their website. It sits there doing nothing. But you need a website. There's actually 4 criteria. We can do a whole webinar on websites, which I don't have time to, but there's 4 criteria that make a website successful. How do you get people to go there? Number 2, you need good content on your website that entices people to leave their contact information. And if they do that, you have sometimes minutes to respond. And so as part of the system, client referral system, not only do we give you a website, we connect your existing website to the system, we also give you lead capture. You're notified on your phone you've got a lead. We give you content for your website so you can respond immediately to leads that you get. And that dramatically increases the conversion percentage. Just having a website that sits there is not going to help you. You have to connect it with an integrated system. Same is true with social media. All the time, every day I get calls. Realtors want social media content. And the reason is, it's very important that when someone refers you, this is really interesting. If I don't have a realtor I'm committed to, and I go to my good friend and he gives me your name, I take your name and number. I don't call you. I'll normally Google your name or check you out. I'll see if you're credible. So what comes up? Are you associated with well-researched, well-written information? And via your website, via your blog, Twitter, Facebook, all these things. Most realtors don't have time to come up with good content. So as part of our systems, we give you articles that you can post to your website, your blog, Facebook page, Twitter. We give you years worth of past issues. You can customize it. It takes seconds to do that, but it solves the big issue of content for both your website and all other social media. That's huge. And no one cares that you had a tuna fish sandwich for lunch. They really want to know, are you a credible realtor? Because there's a lot of choice out there. And it's really important to have really good real estate content. And that's what we provide you as well. So based on our integrated system called the client referral system, which we've evolved over 30 years, literally 3 decades, not only do we track results, our clients get in excess on a 100-person qualified database. And I'll share with you how to qualify that as well. Literally over 15 ends. Matter of fact, you can go to my website, read some of the testimonials every year. I have clients who do much more than that. I have clients who depends on how long you've been in business and what you're currently doing, and there's different strategies. But the bottom line is, if you do, you can assess what that is worth to you in today's marketplace. 15 ends a year from a 100-person contact list. That's pretty amazing. You don't get that from digital marketing alone. You just don't get that from websites, from cold selling websites and all those things. So just in summary, the success formula is very simple. You need an integrated system. You need a system where you have everything in one place: direct mail, email, social media, content management, website, and accessible via an app on your cell phone. That's what we do. And in the system, it involves having a regular direct mail piece to all your A-list clients and all prospects, a monthly email newsletter to your B-list contacts, a monthly market update to all your contacts, a relationship building call about once a quarter, a real estate checkup, what I call a proactive CMA, about once a year, and then birthday and move-in anniversaries once a year. And then ideally in normal times, a client appreciation event. If that sounds like a lot of work, it should, but in reality it's less than 2 hours a week of your time to tweak a system. If it's an integrated system, and you're getting well over 15 ends a year on a 100-person database. That, I don't know about you. It took me over an hour to get here today. The traffic was terrible. I live north of the city of Toronto, offices near Yorkdale. And I got to tell you, I'm traveling more than 2 hours a day commuting. Most of you are in your cars at least a couple hours a week. Less than 2 hours a week to have a system getting over 15 ends a year and 100% database. That's a worthwhile investment to create high quality, low competition leads, as opposed to being on a lead chasing treadmill. If you're a new agent, you're wondering whether having the formula works for you. Absolutely. There's some nuances with respect to new agents. The challenge for new agents is they don't have 100 past clients, or they're literally, there's different challenges, one of which is networking with their sphere of influence and establishing credibility. We have a rookie realtor program. We help agents get established. And the bottom line is, it's really important to put your systems in early, and you want to scale your business, because I speak to realtors all the time that they never did this when they started, and they became the transactional agent. In the absence of systems, you will become transactional. So the earlier you put systems, the better, more successful you'll be. It's as simple as that. It's one of the laws of the real estate marketing universe. So let me summarize. There are basically two types of agents. There are the agents that are like Carl, I alluded to earlier, that are dealing in the world of cold selling, cold leads. They're dealing with low quality, high competition leads. They're on that lead chasing treadmill every day, every month. They're chasing leads. They're literally spinning their wheels. They're spending a lot of money, getting very little results, and it's not their fault. It's just the nature of cold selling. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it can be very exhausting and burn yourself out. And given that there's 200 million leads created every year, less than 1% are converted, that's not a great probability of conversion. And then there are agents like Rosa, the relationship-based, annuity-based agent, where every year, given that every year a certain percentage of her past clients will buy and sell again, because people buy and sell every 4 to 7 years, and everyone she knows, and not only her clients but her generalized sphere of influence, knows 4 to 7 people buying and selling every year. Every year she gets more of the good stuff, more referral business, more repeat business. She's creating a business based on an annuity-based business based on warm selling. She's in essence freed herself up from the commodity-based marketplace, dealing with high quality, low competition leads. And that's what everyone wants. And literally, you do want high quality, low competition leads. It leads to more money, less aggravation, less spinning your wheels, more really reinforcing the reason why you got into real estate in the first place. And as more and more agents go into real estate, especially as people get downsized from other industries, there's just going to grow more and more agents. You want to free yourself up from having to compete with every other agent. Again, there's well over 50,000 plus in the GTA alone. You don't want to be a commodity-based agent. You don't want to compete with other 53,999 plus agents out there. You want to free yourself up. And you know this from your experience. The best leads come to you from referral and repeat and from your sphere of influence. However, in order to create consistently, and the keyword is consistently, and apply the formula that I shared with you, you need a system. You need a good automated marketing system. It shouldn't be you stuffing envelopes or researching articles for the internet. And this needs to be powered from a best-in-class CRM. So that's what we do. That's what Morse Marketing has been doing for decades, longer than almost anybody, I think longer than anyone in North America, and we're Canadian. So here's the bottom line. Um, this is what I do. I've written 3 books on this, even a best-selling book. I work with some of the top agents. What I love to do is help agents transform their business by putting systems in place. So everyone that's here today, I will provide a special promotion on the client referral system, which is really it is the best in the industry in helping you create a systems-based business. And again, it's Canadian. I'll literally give you a couple free compliment months of most of it. There's no contracts with anything I do. But more importantly, I'll share with you ideas on how to transform your business, take it to the next level. You're maybe already doing all the things I described. You may be already you're an agent like Rosa, but I got to tell you, all it takes is one idea to really change everything. And the big issue today is getting more listings. That's the key issue. This is where I can really help you. This is where I help my clients. And you want listings that you have you want to get listings, because that's where the power is in today's marketplace, and especially with all the bidding wars and everything that's going on in the GTA. It's not just about working with buyers. You can do both, but listings is where it's at. This is where I help you get in our systems. So if you want ideas on how to do that, I'll share with you a 30-minute consultation, no obligation, of course. Literally, you can, I'll share with you different ideas and how to take your business to the next level. So, and then I'll share with you the special promotion for the client referral system. If you're interested in finding more about this, please contact me at phollander@morsemarketinggroup.com. I got to know you were here so that at the webinar. So email me that's my personal email, or call me today at 416-252-6421. The long distance number is the same thing, is 1-800-308-6134, extension 217. And I'll book a time to find out about you and what you're currently doing. Again, no charge. I'll be able to share with you ideas on how to take your business to the next level. Sometimes all it takes is one easy idea, and then I will share with you different tips and ideas. If you're interested in that, please contact me. Please contact me, and then we'll set up a time to speak. I'll address any questions, but let me summarize the webinar by saying this. You really have a choice in your business. You can be a commodity-based transactional agent. That's fine, dealing with cold selling leads, and some people love that. And some people actually love the adrenaline rush. I meet agents who love doing that. But I got to tell you, that's far fewer. That represents less than 14% of the realtors out there. And even those realtors that thrive, if you're doing that month after month, year after year, you're burning yourself out. I've met agents who make money doing that, but over time, they can't sustain it because it's so exhausting. Or in contrast to that, you can literally create a business like Rosa I talked about, and be that commodity, not the transactional agent, but that annuity-based relational agent. Free yourself up from the commodity-based marketplace. Build your book of business. Create a business based on network and marketing and warm selling. And I got to tell you, it's much more enjoyable when the phone rings and it's a past client or a referral from somebody that you know, and you're having a completely different conversation than trying to compete with everyone based on price. So if you want to build a business that, like a networker and marketer like Rosa, then I can help you do that. I've got decades of experience doing that. And so I want to thank everyone. I'll address any questions for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll just go into the chat room here 1 second. Okay, how do you have agents with don't have a big database? Let me explain this. This is a great question to ask. I got to tell you, I deal with every scenario. I got a call from an agent, imagine this, from Montreal about 2 months ago. And the agent was 20 minutes in the real estate business. His managing broker is a client of mine. And he basically didn't know where his office was. He was so brand new. It's actually kind of a funny conversation. But I helped him put together a strategy to network with his sphere of influence, because he came from a completely, as most of us do, from a completely different industry. And now he gets his license and they don't teach you how to sell. So I put together a rookie realtor strategy. And there's a whole bunch of people that you know that would likely do business with you. And I'll help you identify that from scratch. Obviously, for new agents, they don't have any past clients. So you have to leverage your relationship with people you used to work with, friends and family, and all of those things. But it's very important that you establish credibility with them. Don't assume if you and I have been friends for 20 years, I'll automatically do business with you. I may like you and trust you, but the elephant in the room for people that don't have much of a database is the fact that I know you're new. So I don't want to be your guinea pig. So I can help you do that. Then let's look at the other end of the continuum. Last week, I spoke with an agent in the GTA who's been 81 years old. 81 years old. That's amazing. That's not the oldest realtor I've ever met, but he's been in business 50 years. And get this, in this 50-year real estate career, he had not even kept a database. So I helped him from scratch develop a client database and put that together and create a communication strategy. So I deal with the whole continuum. But generally, you want to start, if you want to start with priority, you want to start with people you know, past clients first, referral source, and then you have what's called your generalized sphere of influence, what I call the ought to know better category in a database, friends, family, people that ought to know that you're in the business, but may not think of you that way. Then you have referral sources, and then the list goes down. So in a consultation, one of the things I can share with you is how to create and qualify your database. And when I say I deal with every scenario, I absolutely do. You'd be surprised the type of things that I deal with. One other quick thing on this, which I think would be really helpful. One of the questions I get asked time and time again is, okay, Phil, I know 1,000 people. How do I know who's my A list or what I call my high probability contacts, the people have the high probability of referring me and repeat sale with me? Well, let me give you very quickly 2 strategies that will really help you qualify your database. One is called the ultimate qualification question. If you can, you might want to write this down if you can. And the ultimate qualification question is this. Here you are, once you put together a database, when you're looking at a name or contact on your database, ask yourself this question. Does this person have the ability to either A, refer you business, or B, repeat sale with you? Does this person in your database have the ability to A, refer you business, and or B, repeat sale with you? If the answer is yes, they were literally worth up to 7 N's in referral and repeat business over a 10-year period of time. Because again, they know 3 to 5 people buying and selling every year, and they themselves will at least move themselves once in a 10-year period of time. That's huge. They're an A-list person. If the answer is no, you don't get rid of them. They're a B-list person. They're not there yet. They're more of a B-list than an A-list. The other way of qualifying a database, just really quickly, is called the 10-second rule. So once you've got your database put together, and I deal with people with 7 names on a list to start or 100 names, but you really want to basically, 10-second rule works like this. If 10 seconds goes by and you're looking at a name, you're going, who is this person? If you don't remember them, then they probably don't remember you. So the general rule of thumb is this. You don't get rid of them. They're just a B list. So if you visualize your database as like this giant funnel, you have a lot of B list on one side and very fewer A list on the other. And matter of fact, I have clients who've been in business 20, 30, 40, 50 years, as I mentioned, who only have a couple hundred people on their database, on their A list. They have a whole lot and we provide you all the tools to move them from B to A. But that involves having different communication strategies in an integrated system. I don't see there are many other questions. If you're interested in the promotion for the client referral system, in a free consultation about your business, happy to speak with you, give you new ideas. Again, I've written several books on this. I work with some of the top realtors. I'll be more than happy to help you. You're already doing well. You may already be applying the success formula. You may need to find out different strategies on how to do that. Gladly work with you, spend time with you, totally free of charge. Do that. I love doing that. I love working with agents. I don't care if you're new, you've been in business for 30, 40 years. There's different strategies and different things that work. And I will also share with you things that don't work. I talk people out of doing things that are not income generating. One last thing, all that matters in your marketing is you getting business. So when I speak with someone, I reverse engineer everything to what do you need to do to actually generate business, in particular in today's market, listings. So with that in mind, I want to thank everyone in attendance today. I hope I've shared with you some useful ideas, and please call me, email me, whatever you're comfortable with, and we'll set up a time to speak. If you're not comfortable doing that, go to my website, morrismarketinggroup.com. Let me know you were here. Go to the client referral system and leave your contact information, and I will share with you the special promotion on the client referral system for those in attendance today. So thank you all very, very much, and I wish you much success with your marketing and look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Phil.
Hi, Sammy. How are you?
Good, all right, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I hope our agent can get some useful information. And yeah, if you need any help, please contact Phil. I will leave take down the number. I'll screenshot the email, take a screenshot of the phone number, and Phil can help you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
Much success to everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.